What is it that makes us waste our time? And I wrote it down so we don't dilly-dally. And this is why don't wait to turn to Allah. If we wait to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we may never ever get that opportunity. So one thing we should never wait for is to turn to Allah. When we do not have proper objectives and goals in life, we waste a lot of time. We don't know what exactly we want. We don't know where exactly we want to reach. And we don't work towards it. Some people know, I'd like to do this, I'd like to do that. And they don't work towards it. If you don't work towards it, you're wasting time. You're wasting all your time. Because before you know it, time would be finished and you would not have achieved what you wanted. So it's important for us to have proper objectives. And secondly, a point I touched on, your company, your companions, they are also a big obstacle. If you mix with like-minded people who have similar goals and objectives, you will get there with greater ease.
If we can just learn to utilize our time the right way, and like I said, we make 10-year plans and 15-year plans and we don't think about the akhirah, then how do you think about the akhirah? How do you practically plan for the akhirah? You don't make a 10-year plan. You don't make a 15-year plan for the akhirah. You make a daily plan. It's not about making long-term goals. It's about how did you spend today? What are you going to do afterwards? How are you going to spend tomorrow? When are you going to wake up? What are you going to do with your free time? When are you going to erase those useless games off your phone? When are you going to stop watching so much TV? When are you going to stop? When are you going to stop wasting time, just chatting away or trolling? When are you going to stop? When are you going to hold yourself to a higher standard if not today? If you don't make your change in your day, how you go to sleep, how you wake up, how you go to sleep, what you say and what you do, especially how you spend what you think is free time, because it's not free. You're not paying for it now. You and I will be paying for it with Allah. We will be paying for it. There is a price. We may not realize we're going to be paying for it, but it's on record. You know how people feel relaxed when they're off the clock? When they punch out of the office? Well, we're constantly on the clock with these angels. They don't take a break. And when they do, they put the other alternatives on shift. So that plan has to be made for our day.
Who you are and your role that you are meant to play, your objective is made by other people, your friends, your peers, and the media in particular. Every time there is a movie, they come up with a new type of dress code and a new hairstyle, and then you have all these hedgehogs in the classroom. Another very important point, the hatred that we have in our hearts for one another. The jealousy, the envy, it's a waste of our time. Life comes once. We don't have room to hate each other. Some people don't talk to their brothers and cousins and uncles for years on end. They cannot solve a problem. Sometimes we need to say, I'm sorry, even though you know you're not wrong. When we are doing things that are unnecessary, we have a lot of stress, tension in the mind. So remove those things that are unnecessary. We give the example of the pot. Each one of us, we have a capacity like a huge pot. And in our lives, there are things that are equivalent to sand, things equivalent to stones, things equivalent to rocks. The most important things, the rocks, the big ones. If you put the rocks in first, you will be able to get the stones into the spaces of those that the rocks have created when they're in, and then you can put the sand and it will all fit in because you prioritized. But start with the sand, then what happens? You've got no place. No place. When you put the stones in, the rocks are all out. The most important things are out. And this is why a lot of people who complain about lack of concentration in salah, I tell them, you have unnecessary things in your brain. Take them out. Can I tell you what's one of the biggest, and this I'm being open, we're speaking to young people, and this is a message to carry elsewhere. I'd like to hope we're not guilty of what I'm about to say because it's a big one. But we are to carry it to others. One of the biggest reasons why people do not even want to read salah is pornography. May Allah protect us, our offspring, our colleagues, our children. People don't realize it has such a big impact, such a huge impact on the mind, on the emotions, on the spirituality, on everything we do, on our thinking, on the way we look at the opposite sex. Everything changes, and it changes quite badly. And the worst thing is we stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we've lost concentration. Then we say, Sheikh, give me a dua. I need to concentrate. My brother, my sister, a single dua without doing something about it will not solve your problem. Another very, very important point. Some people have a habit of starting something, before they've finished it, they start something else. And starting a third thing before they finish the second. When you do something, do it properly, complete it, and then go for something else. Also, being involved in that which is glamorous, that which shines, that which glitters, and chasing it. We heard about the dunya. Those who chase the dunya, let me inform you, it has no end. But that's what it's all about. Time is never enough, never ever. Let's use it, inshallah, in the right direction. Let us make sure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning let us make sure that we call out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us goodness. Once we have used our time properly and we learn to be systematic in our life, we will feel so good. We will be able to achieve our goals. You know, we will be able to achieve something in life, be happy. We will be able to make sure that every moment we have had has been used in the right direction. And this is why don't wait to turn to Allah. If we wait to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we may never ever get that opportunity. So one thing we should never wait for is to turn to Allah.